today that people shouldn't think that he's dumb enough not to know that people are listening in. By practice, national security teams, including detailees from the CIA and other intelligence agencies, are listening and monitoring all of these foreign calls, making notes, doing, readouts of those notes to the top policymakers. That he wouldn't say something stupid or something sensitive on such
Andrea,
a call.
That tweet was so telling in that the president's essentially saying, of course I know that people are listening on our side and on the other side when I talk to foreign leaders. I would prefer that the president had said, I would never say something to a foreign leader or make an illicit offer to a foreign leader. Instead, he's saying, I'm not dumb enough to get caught, which, again, whether this involves the president or not, that just shows you the type of mob-like behavior he, is often involved in.
Well, I know the underlying issue is classified and sensitive, but the president, by saying this on Twitter, seems to be confirming that the underlying issue does involve his conversation with a foreign leader.
And I wish we knew, as much as it seems the Washington Post knows, but that's not the case right now because the Director of National Intelligence is ordering the Inspector General to not tell us. And so in this case, and let me just back up, the concern, the reason you have this channel is so that whistleblowers don't go outside this channel and start leaking to the press because they don't feel like the proper channels are working. And in this case, someone has gone outside the proper channels to the press. And this just shows, the breakdown in law and order that this president and his administration continues to contribute to.
Since clearly you were not told in this hearing what the underlying issue is, I have to ask you about a reported call between the President Vladimir Putin. It was acknowledged by the White House hours after the Congress had acknowledged it. And there was a real discrepancy between the way Moscow described the substance of this call and what the White House, only under pressure from reporters, questions, acknowledged that night.
Andrea, this president continues to not be straight with us as it relates to his dealings with Russia.
Do you want to know more about that call in particular?
Yes. And our committee working with the Foreign Affairs Committee is also working on, the Helsinki exchange with Vladimir Putin. So, yes, we just are highly skeptical about any calls that this president has with Vladimir Putin, considering that Russia's behavior has not changed, since they invaded Crimea, since their human rights abuses in Syria, since they interfered in our election. And it just seems counter to our interests that we would even engage or give them the audience that this president does.
Congressman Eric Swalwell, thank you very much. I know this is all in progress.